The Full Spectrum presents the Magnus Archives parody, Dead of Night.
Right, so how am I supposed to do this again? Statement of Trey. And there's no last name here. How strange. Presented to the archivist on... Adjust my spectacles here. November 23rd, 2002? 2002, yes. Presented by Bartholomew Bonaparte, Chief Custodian of the Magnus Institute. I know that sounds strange. Elias actually asked me to come in and read this one. I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, statement begins. So I just talking to the mic, right? Yeah, sorry, I've just never done anything before. Yeah, so... Yeah, okay, right. Start from the beginning. Right. I'm Trey. I'm from not around here originally. I came all this way because I was told that you people could help me, that you could help me to understand exactly what had happened, and I really need help. Right, yeah, sorry, the beginning. Yeah, I heard you the first time. So, I've always been a little reckless when it comes to, the outside, I guess. I don't know how best to put this. Right, I'm doing my best to relax, okay? We'll get there. So I live on a farm. We have cows and chickens and all kinds of things like that. And yeah, in Texas. Yes. Goats and guineas and cats and dogs, you know. And so I'm used to going out at night when I hear a sound. I'm used to going out with a flashlight and just, you call them torches over here, right? That's not important right now. I'm used to going out and trying to figure out what's going on, right? I've killed my share of possums that were after my chickens. I've killed my share of snakes that have come after me or after something else in the field, right? And I've lost chickens and even a cow once to a snake. My point of all this is I'm used to being in the dark alone, right? And so I wasn't ever worried about that. I would go out into the yard at night and it would be absolutely fine. I'd have my light, I could see. And now it's not. Talking to you's really easy, by the way. I don't know why. Thanks so much. Your name's not important right now, I'm sorry. Yes. I mean, it is important. Obviously, it's your name. I'm not trying to be rude. This is not like hey, I crossed the pond and now I'm rude American over here. I appreciate it, right? And I wanted you to know that. Anyway, 8 nights ago, I went out to investigate a noise. I brought my dog with me. I have a standard poodle. He's a wonderful dog. And I brought him with me, and he didn't want to come with me. I didn't think anything about it at the time. You know, he's been scared by a possum before. One actually tried to jump out of a tree at him, and so he, doesn't want to be around him anymore, and I understand that. I don't blame him. So, when he didn't want to follow me, I thought it would be fine. I had my flashlight. And I couldn't find where the noise had come from. I walked the field, the cows followed me, the horse followed me, and they seemed fine, so I didn't think anything strange about it. I came back and there were cats all over the place waiting for me, thinking I was going to feed them at 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't remember the exact time now. I didn't find anything, and so I decided while I was already out, I'd go check the mail. I had forgotten to check it earlier, and I live very close to a main highway, so I don't normally try to check it late at night, but, I figured why not? Everything was fine after all. I let the dog back inside, because clearly he hadn't found anything and he didn't want to help me anyway, and I went to the mailbox. I remember very distinctly soft thud of my sneakers when I stepped onto the road. I wear a pair of dingy sneakers when walking around the field, and I was still wearing them, leaving a trail of wet shoe prints behind me on the road as I walked down to the mailbox. Been raining for the past 3 days, and I didn't think much about it at the time. I got to the mailbox, and there were packages inside. I leaned down to pull them out. That's when I heard the sound. It was like the sound of hooves, but not as I'd ever heard them before. They were louder, and they echoed somehow, as if the whole world had taken up the sound and was throwing them further along, as if they were all around me. I looked up, of course, expecting maybe the horse had gotten out and somehow had decided to follow me all this way, but I didn't see my horse. First, I didn't see anything, but I heard them. Those hoof beats drumming their way across the asphalt as it came around the corner, drawing ever closer. I hear them still. Even now, that's how I know that it's after me. That's how I know that it's coming. That's why I came to you, hoping you could help me. Because if you can't, it will find me. And it will claim me. When it came around the corner, I don't know why I hadn't run by that point, rooted in fear as I was. When it came around the corner, my world broke. Something inside me gave out, and I did not have the strength to move. It was partly a horse. 4 legs, and then more, and then more, and didn't seem to matter how many times I looked down to see it, that there was always a different number of legs. Dark, so dark as if made from the night itself. And where there should have been a rider, where there should have been a man, there was something else. Some strange phantom whose white face, bone white with no expression, was only matched by that of the horse itself. It seemed almost like the dark, the night, trailed behind him in a cloak, and in his hands was a spear, bone white, terrifying in its presence. And I knew in that moment that spear was for me. That spear was my right. That spear was my justice. That spear was my judgment. And it would take me. He looked at me. I don't know how, but I know he looked at me. He looked at me for a long time. Or a short time. Or maybe no time at all. The horse wasn't breathing. And yet somehow it whinnied. Somehow it called out as he leveled that spear at me, and it charged. Sound. The drumming of the hoof beats. The wind tearing past him as he moved so fast and yet so slow. Moments stretched to eons as I stared. Somewhere, deep inside, I knew I was going to die. And then a rooster crowed. And all at once the world was back. The world was mine again. And I ran. I heard it chasing me. It was still coming. The rooster hadn't stopped it, but it had woken me up from whatever trance I was in. And I kept running. Ran and I ran till I got in my truck. Then I drove. Not back through the main highway the way it was coming. I drove through people's yards. I drove through ditches until I got to the airport. Then I came here. It's still coming after me. I really hope that you can help me. Deep down, I prayed that it would lose track of me on the flight. But when my plane landed, I heard it still. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I know that I do. The closer it gets, the less I think I want your help. But is that me thinking, or is that whatever spell this thing has put upon me? Oh, of course. You don't believe me. That's okay, Archivist. I get it. Why would you believe me? Why would I fly all this way just to tell you this fanciful story? No, it's fine. It's fine. I could have ran anywhere. And I ran to you. I see now that was a mistake. Yes, good day, I think is how you say goodbye. Have a good one. Mine will be over soon. Well, that was quite something, wasn't it? I don't much like the sound of that thing, but it's probably not real, right? I mean, this must have been some loon that walked in here and just decided to spill out a story, probably in hopes of getting paid or something. Regardless, I do have a couple notes here. The first one is that our man, Trey, was found, gored on the side of the highway. Quite strange. And also, there was no murder weapon found. Interesting. I still don't understand why Elias wanted me to read this. The office has been very strange lately, and I don't know that I quite like it. I sure hope he's not doing an evaluation to fire me. Though, actually, I don't think he's ever fired anyone, has he? That's an interesting thought. He must just be that good of a boss. Regardless, I don't know how I'm supposed to close these out, so, statement ends.
The Magnus Archives is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed under Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike 4.0 International License. This was a parody presented by The Full Spectrum and owned by The Full Spectrum? If you liked it, please go check out the original podcast, which is much better. Thank you, and have a nice day.